Hey everyone, Cars here from ADifficultTruth. So we had yet another incident, this time in Odessa, Texas, where 8 people lost their lives, and we get the same callous, inhumane response from Republican lawmakers that we get every time something like this happens. I want to point to a specific thread from Representative Matt Schaefer. Let's take a look here. Quote, "Do something" is a statement we keep hearing. Yeah, because no one is doing anything about it. That's the problem. As an elected official with a vote in Austin, let me tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to use the evil acts of a handful of people to diminish the God-given rights of my fellow Texans. I mean, how many more incidences of a handful of people need to happen before something gets done? None of these so-called gun control solutions will work to stop a person with evil intent. I say no to red flag pre-crime laws, which, let me remind you, President Trump has stated that he is in favor of red flag laws. In fact, supposedly he would be open to gathering with Republicans and Democrats to kind of explore the possibility of red flag laws. Which to me sounds like common sense. I've stated this in my other video. If you've been convicted of domestic violence, maybe you shouldn't own a gun. No to universal background checks, which again is common sense gun control. No to bans on AR-15s or high-capacity magazines. These guns, these weapons, are very common, very easy to get, and unfortunately, they end the lives of a lot of people in a short amount of time. I think a conversation needs to be had. No to mandatory gun buybacks. What we can do, yes to praying for victims, which has done absolutely nothing. That's not going to bring them back. Yes to praying for protection. Again, that's not going to stop anyone from going into a crowded area and committing an incident like this. Yes to praying that God would transform the hearts of people with evil intent. After stating that gun control solutions will not work to stop a person with evil intent. So only God can do that, I guess. Not something that we can enact. You, as a legislator, can enact. Honestly, if you are espousing this kind of rhetoric and nonsense, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to be a legislator, because I thought our founding fathers specifically separated church and state. Yes to fathers not leaving their wives and children. Okay. Yes to discipline in the homes. Okay. Yes to supporting our public schools. This sounds like a red herring. How does this have to do with anything? Yes to giving every law-abiding single mom the right to carry a handgun to protect her and her kids without permission from the state. They already have that. Second Amendment. And the same for all other law-abiding Texans of age. Yes to your God-given constitutionally protected rights. Yes to God, and no to more government intrusion. This guy is a representative in the Texas House District 6. So if you are infuriated with this response to 8 people losing their lives, you should take a look at when he's up for re-election, so you can vote him out. This should automatically disqualify you from being a politician, in my opinion. There should be a strict separation of church and state. You can have your beliefs, but it should have nothing to do with making laws. I mean, this is just honestly a slap in the face to all the victims who have died in these incidences. To say that, pray for the victims, pray for protection. Where was that when 8 people lost their lives? Where was that when 22 people lost their lives? In these past, month and a half, 2 months, over, I would say almost 50 people have lost their lives. I think that it's not too much to ask to have the conversation. I mean, how many more people have to die? How many more incidences have to happen before we can even bring this to the table? I mean, it seems honestly ridiculous that every other country, every other Western country has seemed to been able to figure this out and act quickly whenever one of these incidences happen, and reduce the chances of another one occurring. I mean, of course, nothing is ever going to be perfect, but we have to try and mitigate the carnage, because I mean, this is ridiculous. How many more incidences before these Republicans are going to take any action? Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so that you get notifications when our videos go live for you. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/ADifficultTruth. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ADifficultTruthOfficial. You can listen to the podcast at soundcloud.com/ADifficultTruth. And now you can follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/ADifficultTruth. Come be a part of the conversation. I'll leave all the links in the description below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya!